Hold it.
Hold it.
Let it go.
It's episode 4. It's 11:11.
It is.
In a Power podcast. I know you've seen us last week, but we haven't seen you ever because we don't know. No, that went weird. Anyway, we're back.
This is normal, not weird.
We've embraced our inner child at Pittville Park and went on the zip wire. You have to check our reel out later on Insta.
It was fabulous.
I didn't smash my bottom on the floor on it either.
No.
Definitely did not happen.
We don't have a footage of that.
We don't have footage of that. It didn't happen.
No.
I think it's from all the training I've been doing though.
Maybe.
Not
Did it appear to you? Did it appear to you how we appear to people who were actually with their kids, in the playground?
Yeah, we just look like we're crazy, and probably that's true. Anyway, what's our today's subject? Doesn't make any sense, but it made sense to me. That's all that matters. What's today's subject? What are we talking about in the park with people around us looking at me? Stop looking at me. There's no one there. All right, just this camera. All right, okay. So we appear to be different to everyone we know, right?
Yeah.
I came across this post last week. I can't remember the page now. I think it was the Cosmic Enlightenment. Oh, my mum's watching. Hello, mother.
Hello.
So it was about, like, there's different versions of us. So I'm a bit of a Marvel geek. So it's like there's a multiverse of me. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, well, I've seen a little bit of that. So yes, I can imagine.
And there's a multiverse of you.
There is.
And have you ever had that thing? Maybe someone's maybe got the wrong impression of you, and you're kind of like thinking, well, where'd that come from? I'm not like that, or whatever. And sometimes, even you get good and bad, right?
Of course. And I strongly believe that everything depends on the type of mood we are in. If you're in a really good mood and you meet someone for the first time, their first impression of you will be like, oh gosh, that person is really nice.
Yeah.
But you're in a really feisty mood, that impression won't be the same, even though you are the same person, right?
Yeah.
And also you can actually turn it around. You can be in a very good mood and someone is not in a good mood, they're not gonna see you the way you are.
That's it. And even this is kind of to do with relationships. And when I talk about relationships, it's, you could be in a total different area where you live. You go into a shop and you're never going to see the person behind the desk ever again, but straight away you've created a relationship with that person. So straight in that sense, there's a multiverse, there's a version of you with that interaction you have for that brief moment of time with that person and them. Let's say that, like you said, hopefully when you go in the shop, no one's rude, right? But it can happen. And then you think, that person's so rude. But it's just a version of you caught. And it might be they are rude. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, it was just really intrigued me because it made me, I think we have, as the version of me that's a father, and probably to each 3 of my children, there's different versions of me to them. And how I interact with them is different because they've got different emotional needs. They got, there's different things they're into. So within myself, there's these different versions.
Yeah.
But to them, how they see me is going to be very different. How my mum's watching now, she's going to see me as someone that's different to what someone else does.
Yeah, some weirdo sitting on the bench in the park.
That's how the people walking past look at that. My arm trying to hold this camera because it keeps moving.
But you are very, very right there. And I think everything's down to perception, the energy we are in. And like you said, you will be presenting different parts of you, different versions of you, depends on who you're interacting with. It will be different with your kids, it will be different with your business partners, it will be different with your students, and so on and so forth. And even, this is another thing, even though that you want to appear to someone in a very specific way, like mentor to someone, those who are being mentored by you will receive you, depends on their perception of you. Some of them will be open, some of them won't be prone to or open to listen to what you've got to say. So everything, it just depends. I think this is a very deep subject, and for me personally, sometimes I want to promote myself and I want to appear to the people who I'm talking to from my best side, but I do know that you cannot please everyone.
No, definitely.
And some of them will see me as a professional. Some of them will see me as an imposter. Someone will see me, just that I'm just talking crap,
Yeah.
and I can't do nothing about it.
No.
And this is another thing, what people think about us, how they receive us is not our job.
No, again, this is on a post, and it was something. Sometimes you catch a post on something. It's stuff I follow, and it was what other people think about you is none of your business.
Yeah.
And I know that's not easy.
No.
And actually, I had a discussion with someone quite close about it, and they said, "Yeah, but what about how your kids feel about you?" So you can, it can go both ways. But I think generally, on the whole, if someone got an opinion, that's their opinion. Because I can spend ages trying to resolve that, and but I'm actually like this. So if they've seen it that way, they've seen it that way. Like social media can be good and it can be bad, right? So how we appear on social media can be, again, that's a different version.
It is.
So even with this, I got, there's Matt Rudman that does the Inner Power podcast. You got Anget's the well-being coach, and we both done martial arts. There's different versions of us straight away there, and it just is what it is. But then there's the behind the scenes. There's another version that's going on that people would know.
If only one.
Yeah, and you're in the circle, right? Yeah, yeah. So, and it just, like you said, it is such a deep subject. It really got me thinking, and even like that perception of others that I've had some, they've been good at first, and then I've kind of thought, well, maybe that's not quite what it is, but that's my version, and actually, and other people around, they might have similar versions of it, but I think the element is there's still an element of you within each one.
100%.
And I think that's the key that we can really learn from to understand ourselves, because it comes down to that. We work from the inside out, and then we can work better in groups and teams, and people that are close to us. Obviously, hopefully they're doing the same thing, but that's up to them. That's they've got to run their choice with it. But again, and that's probably something we'll talk about another time, is how we connect with people, and there's all different levels of connection. But I think once you kind of understand it a bit, the more you begin to understand it, I think that easier it is to understand like how we do resonate and connect with different people and different levels.
So how I understand is that if you learn to become observer, not only of people who you're interacting with, but also yourself, and you get to understand that things that you do like in someone is actually part of you, the part that you like of yourself,
right?
And those things you don't like in someone else is something what is within yourself too. That could be, you can use this as a mirror, that if you're reaching for some sort of improvement, when something is highlighted to you, it's still being part of you, so you can still work towards improving it. If it's not showing up so much, then you improved. But that's if we're talking about more deeper approach, more spiritual approach. But that's, I think, being observer helps a lot, because we then become more responsive rather than reactive. And I think this is a very powerful skill to have. It's not only it's not easy thing to do, especially when you're in a feisty mood. It's bound to happen that you're going to be reactive. It's just a human nature.
Yes, definitely.
Ego is kicking in, and you're more reactive. But when you're calmer and you're interacting with people, you can kind of take this step back and just observe without taking active part in it. And then you have this space to understand where this is coming from, why they are acting like they're acting. You might find that you have more compassion towards those people as well. So they might be, just all over the place, and you would think, oh, well, they are having just bad moment. And this is another thing. If you have compassion towards someone who is having a really bad moment, even though you're interacting with this person having a bad moment, it doesn't mean that you are that person. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm taking complete twist on that.
Yeah, because you can overthink it.
You can overthink it. So just I find this, just that practicing being present and being observer is one of the most powerful skills you can have. It really brings ease to your relationships, and how you react, how you co-create with other people.
Yeah.
And what do you think about that?
I agree. I think if you can, because sometimes we do react to certain things, right?
Yeah.
Because our emotions are going to kick in, especially if it's someone that you're very close to. And I think sometimes if you can step back and just observe what's going on, like you said, and just wait a little bit, because something negative's happened or happening. Remember, they got a different version going on themselves, and your reality on it is can be quite different. So sometimes I think it's better to observe, and I've learned to do that more, I think, in recent years. Just observe what's going on, and wait, because sometimes what you think is happening isn't what is happening. And I've been on the receiving end of it as well. I don't like someone thinks something's, you're this and you're that. So having been in that, I guess that helped me to kind of in myself think, right, actually, I need to observe more myself, and just wait and see what's happening. And then I think and when you've kind of had that observation period, then it's actually a little bit easier to talk about rather than going in with the reactive emotion and who knows what's going to be said. So and of course, again, their reality is different. It might be that you're right, might be that you're wrong. There's always a bit in between. There's three sides to every story. Always. So it's observation is a good one. I think there's something else you said, and I think where you said basically I think how we see others, again, is something I've learned is quite often a reflection of ourselves. And it's really kind of being mindful of that. So if I've seen that in someone, then whether it be positive, negative, why is that? I like to see the good in things. I really like to see the good in people. And again, it's observing. So if this might sound a bit negative, but if I find them around too much negativity, and if there was a lot of bad mouthing going on, and I'm talking a bit from experience, on hindsight now, I can see that person was just wherever they were at for whatever reason they were at. But that was happening a lot. Does that make sense? So, was that good for me? No. Can I change them? No. That's their choice. That's their lesson. And I didn't want to be part of it, basically. So you can get caught in that. I think it's observing, and that's their reality. Some people will just, everyone's bad, everyone's this, everyone's that. And others, it's positive. But I think we're positive people. But I know sometimes when we meet up on a Tuesday, we're going to do a reel, we're going to do our live, but sometimes we might feel a bit flat. By the end of it, I think the positivity, we lift each other up, on this day. So I look forward to Tuesday. It's a great day. we did the death slide, not death slide. It sounds like a death slide.
Oh gosh, it was fun.
It was fun. So I think, again, understanding, observing, and being more mindful of ourselves and the people that we are surrounding ourselves with has a big part to play. So, and again, there's different versions. Different versions, and as you get to, people might look. If I'm doing mindset stuff all the time, sometimes, people may just see me. Oh, you must be positive and happy all the time, and most of the time I am, but I have my moments.
We all have,
But there's a nice bit of wind blowing on the microphone now.
Yes. Hopefully this works.
Yeah, I hope you can hear us after this.
Actually, it blew my mind. This wind blew my mind. But like you said, there are different versions of us, and it changes from the day to day. Actually, from 1 hour to another, it changes depending on who you're interacting with. I do like what you said. You're always looking for positive in people, and I strongly believe that those who are not so positive, they have a reason for it. First of all, they probably focus on the stuff that is not going well for them. That's one of the most powerful reasons why people feel sad, and why they are sad. And I also believe that people might not be nice because they're truly not happy. And when people are not happy, they hurt others. It could be with words, it could be with actions, and it's because they don't feel good with themselves, within themselves.
But by the way, it doesn't make it okay.
No, it doesn't make okay. Of course, it doesn't. I'm not saying it does.
But I think sorry, Anne, to interrupt. I think with that, like hurt people, and it doesn't make it okay. But when you're aware of it, I think it's easy to say, you know what, cut that off right now. You can change how you you approach on things with that person.
And now we're talking about being responsive and
Yeah,
reactive,
exactly,
right?
right,
So, for
yeah.
example, if you understand where this person is coming from and you don't add to their energy, first of all, you don't add fuel to the fire they are already burning,
Mhm.
and it's not going to affect you. It's not going to affect you in a
Exactly.
negative way. And I
Yeah.
think that's a very powerful thing to know.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we tend to go and fix the world, but the world doesn't need fixing. People don't need fixing. They just need more understanding
Well,
of
I
themselves.
don't know, Ange, because have you found any fuel at the moment?
Listen,
You just got to get in the back of fuel.
okay.
I'm gonna have a
Do you
rant.
have a bicycle? Do
No.
you have pair of feet? You know, can you still
Yeah.
swing on the zip wire?
I only
You
wanted to
can.
bring up the word fuel in today's session.
You can fuel this conversation with
Yeah.
positive energy.
Definitely.
So
Yeah.
if you
there's
change
a
the
lack
way
of-
you look at
Maybe
things,
we should say there's a lack of positivity in the world right now, and everyone's just gonna go, I gotta get some. There's panic positivity.
you're panic positivity. But from the other hand, you know, just you can't pretend that you're
No.
positive. You know,
No, you
you'll
can't.
smell the rat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I think there's a time when you have got to put a front on as a father to a degree. But most of the time, yeah. If there's weeds in the garden, you can't say there's no weeds in my garden.
no, you can't.
You gotta go and pull them out.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. Definitely. Positive approach always
Yeah.
works. But you know, if you're not positive, it's no point pretending. And everybody has right to be in those different states
Yes,
of mind.
definitely.
You know,
Yeah.
we have this variety of different emotions for a reason, different version of us for a reason. We don't have to be a people pleaser, you know, just and appear to people just one particular way. You know, you're living your own life
It's your
for
show.
your own reason. It's your own show,
Yeah.
you know. And I think it's actually good, you know, that some people actually are not fans of you, because if all of them were loving you, then you would not have time
Hey, you
for
wouldn't
all
get
of them.
You wouldn't get out the front door.
No, you wouldn't.
You'd have
So-
no privacy.
So
yeah.
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. But the less you dwell on the fact that, for example, sometimes you're not the best version of yourself, or you don't appear as a nice person to someone else, the easier your life is. Because if you think, oh my gosh, I haven't been nice to so and so, and you keep beating up on just on yourself for doing that, you're actually dragging yourself down.
Yeah.
And then you feel really bad, just about yourself. So then obviously you become more reactive.
Yeah.
Because you're not the best version of yourself. So you have to just accept, that what happened was just a moment. How people receive you, how you behave is just a moment. And if you have something to apologize for, just apologize and just move on, because life is just built out of, lessons. Can you learn from that lesson?
Yeah, definitely. Always.
When a baby is brought to this world, starts life, learning by mistakes, how to start to walk, just how to start to speak, just all of those things. And this, we are learning all our life, and I think if you can keep your mind open and accept the fact that we are here for experience, we're learning every single day, even by interacting today with you, I'm learning something new, then it just, in my personal opinion, the life becomes easier.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you're less attached to it. You're enjoying more your life experience, and you're allowing everyone else around to have their own experience on their own terms.
Yeah, and it is. It's their terms. It's their lesson. It's
got nothing to do with you, right?
Yeah, nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Nothing to do. You're either in it, you're not in it, whatever. So what? Well, that's that then.
We forgot about George, right?
We got about George, Dave. Did remember George?
There was George. Do you remember yesterday? Yesterday? What? Why yesterday? It was a week ago and 2 weeks ago. George was with us. Oh, they're looking funny at me. That's okay. That's their opinion of me.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that. So George been keeping us company.
Yesterday, he was called a unicorn and something else, wasn't it?
And giraffe.
A giraffe.
Yeah.
It's a zebra.
They called you giraffe. I really do like that toy.
Oh.
Was that my inner child, right? Okay.
Well, there you go. There's another version of ourselves. We have that inner child where we're a bit silly sometimes, and have a bit of fun, have a bit of a laugh.
I think you have to. We tend to become too serious in our life. That's why we tend to become also very reactive, and we show up in not the best version of ourselves. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because we just don't feel good about ourselves. And I think, even today, I had a great time, doing that zip wire, and that straight away brought a smile to my face. And I know when I'm smiling, when I'm joyful, I'm just nicer. I'm even nicer to you.
Ah,
You know what I mean? I was St. George after that, So this is it. You have to just channel your inner child. You become just easier about things. You judge less. You find a solution to troublesome
Yeah.
situations with more ease, because you're not so married to the trouble, and you're looking for the solution. And because your energy is higher, you have easier access to it as well. So simple things, today it's a zip wire, but it could be even, we went to your martial arts
Yep.
center, and there was this little doggy, and dogs,
Raven.
animals.
Yeah.
That's her name.
Raven, yeah.
Animals raise my energy,
Yeah.
and they get this childlike behavior out of me just in split seconds. And
So you did a card. So if you follow us on Instagram, Andrew's doing like every couple of days, like a little card reading. It's in the stories. So if you're into that, well, just go and watch it anyway, because something will resonate with you. And today it was about pets, wasn't it?
Yes.
Well, the lady in the coffee shop picked the cards, right? So you're having that deck.
That was a sign.
She didn't quite say it like that, but that's what we're going to say. So, and then you pulled it. So what was it? Embrace. No, what was the card again? But you had something quite. Sorry, and you had something quite. You said something about what you thought it meant.
So my intuition translated a little bit different to the description that we found in the book.
Yeah.
Because what happened was I drew pets, and for me, as I read the description, led me to feel that it's about dropping the judgment, surrounding yourself with the neutral, positive energy that will bring the best out of you. Because then and only then you can return to your true self. And you can interact with animals. For example, imagine stroking the dog, or maybe that's what I told you.
That's where you talked about the horse, how the horse is and how the dog is, and then I said, so what can we learn from that? Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So for example, when it comes to horses, I love horses, and I love them for many reasons, but I find that horses are the best bullshit detectors, so you cannot fool horse. Horse will sense your energy. So if you're not a good person, they will show that. If you're in a bad mood, just they will respond to that.
When I was a little boy, I got bit by a horse. Was I been playing up that day?
No, maybe the horse maybe that horse had a bad day, and that was just that can happen.
I don't remember it, so just told about it.
Maybe this horse in the past experience, being abused by kids, and that's why he just reacted. Animals can react too.
So it's all okay.
So you sorted.
Yeah, I'm sorted.
That's
they
good.
were good. I've been in the sea before.
Good.
Nice ride up by Pressbury. So, yeah.
And as I was leading back to cards, and then I was
keep
talking.
Interrupting you.
That's brilliant. Yeah, good. We're talking about dogs.
Yes.
So sometimes you are really in a bad mood, and they will come to you, and they will wag their tail, and they will bring this happiness to you. They will lift your spirit up. And even if sometimes you're gonna just push this dog away, or even slap the dog because he's done something wrong, he won't hold a grudge against you. He will come back wagging the tail.
I'm not saying do that, by the way.
No, I'm not saying that, but this is hypothetical. I can't say that word.
Easy for me to say.
But this is what I'm saying, because they don't hold a grudge. They are this pure, positive energy, and for me, it meant that we're supposed to just tune into it. Just go somewhere where we can be inspired by it. We can just tune back into who we really are.
Dogs love. So again, everyone will have a different reality on it. So think about the dogs I've had, and they just love you unconditionally.
Yeah.
And then they tear up your sofa, and they just sit wagging their tail. Where did you go?
Yeah.
Why did you leave me?
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened. What?
There was a hole.
Yeah, I've done something real bad, but I'm gonna come and sit on you now. Thanks.
Oh, but that's.
But I think you're right. I think how we connect with animals, and just again, there's always something to be learned from something. Like you did kung fu, right?
Kickboxing.
I thought you did kung fu. Oh, I'm so disappointed.
Because I did Tai Chi.
Yeah,
that's
Tai
why.
Chi.
Yes.
Okay. But with kung fu is a lot based around animals.
It is.
from,
Yeah.
I assume, monks copying what
So-
animals did.
The style I did, it was based on Kung Fu. So,
See?
so it was based on Kung Fu, but I also, on top of that, I'm doing a short young form of Tai Chi, which
Yeah,
also,
yeah.
just includes lots of, just animal poses, so
Yeah,
to
yeah.
speak. So, yeah.
We got right off on one there.
Well,
but
that's
basically,
quite
the point,
normal.
yeah, that's normal. But there's different versions of ourselves. So embracing, so
Mhm.
view, there's the version of you that's the connection that you have with a horse,
Hmm.
and a connection that I've seen can't walk down the road without hands jumping on a dog, basically.
I am not planning to do that. No, that's not gonna happen. No,
It's a
no.
dog. No, but there's a lovely connection that you have
Yeah.
with animals that
Mm.
you can see, when we come up to the park or whatever. So, yeah, I think there's these. Again, it's a part. That's you. It's part of you, and there's a you in each of these different realities or multiverse or whatever you want to
Hmm.
say it. So sometimes it's just interesting to sit and listen. Like, I think we did a drill years ago with my staff, and you had to kind of talk about first impressions.
Hmm.
And it was from like a perspective of like, well, what is it other people see when they first meet us coming into
Hmm.
the centre, and it's quite a good drill. So if you're in, so my voice is going a bit. So it's a good drill to do if you have staff, but even just with family or whatever. I don't know what was your first impressions, and just find out, because I bet your first impression of me is different to what it is now.
Probably, yes.
Yeah. We didn't let you have a job. But the same the other way around, really. So, like, no. So, on a serious note, obviously, it's getting to know people and becoming observant, and sometimes you don't always take everything at face value.
I was just gonna say that.
See.
Because people can be also trained to present themselves specific way, right? And because, for example, they are in front of the house, they have to play their role, and they have to be nice, but this is just part of them that been trained to do this particular thing, and it doesn't mean that they are that kind of person, behind the closed door.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm. The true self comes out sometimes. Yeah, I like to watch. Definitely like to watch. In fact, I said I've become more observant in recent years. I've been observant for a while. I think longer than what I think, and I sometimes just sit back and listen to what people got to say. Actions count so much more for everything else. Actions always speak louder
than
basically.
words.
It sounds a bit like up and down negative, but I think the whole point really though is understanding there are different people will see you differently, and that's just how they see you, and a version of you lives in each of those. Is it the real you, or isn't it?
That's a good question. So we wonder if there's anyone actually interacting with us.
No, it's my ma.
That's good. That's good. So lovely to have your mom with us. Really lovely. So hey, yeah. I forgot. Remember?
Yeah, but we didn't pick a winner.
We didn't, but we can pick for next week.
We'll do for next week, yeah. So if you're watching this on replay or at any point, then we did try and do a competition last week, but basically what happened, we went live last week, but we pre-recorded it.
Yes.
So when it was uploaded to then go live, I know it's confusing, but just work with me. That's why I was wearing the same jumper, we're in the same car, it's the same part.
With George.
Anyway, so if the sound went, if it was a bit like that last week, that's why.
This is it.
I'm trying to sort it out for the podcast. But we did try and do a competition, right? But I don't think it came out on the...
No, I think it cut how do you say it?
Cut out.
Yeah, cut out. Did cut us out. That's what I wanted to say.
Now.
Okay, no. There will be no glitches in the system. There will be no glitches in the system.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we were...
If you're still listening, just hashtag the Matrix. There's a glitch in the system.
All right. We were doing a competition for those who are participating in our podcast. So I think what we're going to do, first I'm gonna say to you what it is, because
So for
we
the
didn't
sake of those
manage.
that do get audio, this what are these cards that we're going to give away?
So they are very special cards made by a friend of mine. She's very spiritual. She's a psychic. She's doing lots of beautiful spiritual things, if I can say it that way. And she created a beautiful deck of cards which are called Labris Ascension cards, and that's a very limited edition because she's not going to make any more of them.
Limited edition.
Very limited edition. So if you're into a cards like positive guidance, a little just like message that you can pull out for yourself every day, you have a chance to win a deck of cards. And what do you have to do to win?
You got to hashtag something in the comments. I'm in.
I'm in.
Give me my cards. Just something to highlight the fact that you love to win these cards, and we'll pick a name out next week. I did this with my son, my youngest son, the other week. So he was having a bit of a moment.
Mm-hmm.
So I used it as a bit of a pattern interrupt.
Mm-hmm.
So we got them out. Said, "Come on, we're going to think a bit positive." Blah blah blah. Right, whatever drops on the floor, that's the one. So I did what? Excuse me, I'm getting the hiccups now. So yeah, he's 8. So
Mm-hmm.
just got into. I read it out. So this is bit. I can't remember what it was now, but whatever was there, I was saying, "Well, this is how you're feeling at the moment. It's how you're feeling at the moment." Yeah. What you can see in the picture, and he picked out all these different things in the picture because you got to really look at these ones. I like it.
Yes.
And he found all these positive things. Here we go. Hashtag I'm in.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Um,
So like you said, thank you very much for
Yeah.
reminding me, because I said that last week but I forgot to say it now. Those cards you can interpret different ways.
Yes.
So you can read the message that is on them, as well as you can look at the picture and find the meaning in that. And the meaning you're going to find is going to be your personal message to you. So I think they are very, very special. And you
I think
can't
they're
get
great.
them anywhere on Amazon or anywhere. So I think this is a very special gift you can get. So please put the hashtag, say I'm in, and we're definitely going to draw. I think we're going to draw 2 decks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you would.
Yeah. Yes, because I
Yeah.
like being generous. Okay.
All right.
So
Got
we're
to
gonna
be in
do
it to win it.
Yes.
Okay.
This is it.
All right. I think we're pretty much there for this week. So
Mhm.
join us next week. And yeah, just remember there's different versions of you that exist in all the people that you know. And if you can understand that there is, like, some of them may seem, what? I'll stop there. Yeah. It may seem a bit out there, but is there a part in that? I don't know. What can you learn from it? How can we improve ourselves? And how can it make us better at whatever we want to be better at?
Yeah. Become
In all our relationships, yeah, better observer. Is that it?
Yeah.
That's it. We're
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
Peace.
And George,
Love and George.
have a great one.
Hey.